Hello, hello, and welcome to another fantabulous day of NGS action. Today, we are going to the heroic div, and it's just going to be the single header for today between Can't Connect Stuns and potential Scrim Thursday. Now, today's game should be an absolute certified banger, because if we take a look at the standings, assuming it does work, give it a moment. I even tried getting it warmed up before we go in, but either way, main story here, potential Scrim Thursday, 8th place at 17 points. And Can't Connect Stuns, they're actually 9th place at 16 points. They are right next to each other in standings. And the repercussions of this win could mean quite a bit once we get closer to those playoffs. So this is definitely one of those games where every single map matters. And winning this series is definitely a big deal for both of these two teams. And now the map picker ban has already come through. And currently we have the bans coming out. Can't Connect Stuns did select map pick when they won the coin toss. And they banned out Garden of Terror and Battlefield of Eternity. Potential Scrim Thursday, they banned away Cursed Hollow and Alterac Pass. And the map number one for today will be the Infernal Shrines. So again, this is a pretty fun map. It's one of the few maps where, well, I think it's the only map actually, where the main objective targets heroes rather than structures. It adds a lot of damage, but it also requires a bit of aggressive play coming out from all of the players, because you can't just let the objective push on its own. Even when it gets to that ultra late game, the objective itself is not really going to deal a lot of damage. The Punisher is super strong against heroes, but it's because it's not targeting any of those buildings. As long as there's people to defend it, it's not going to be able to get too much value. But with that being said, should be a fun draft anyway, because I mean, Auger's really solid on this map. Tyke is really solid on this map. I mean, Chromie, I'm sure, is going to be contested on this map as well. As well as all of our usual meta picks, the Falstads, the Dahakas. I don't know why Dahako was evading me here, but all 10 players are in the lobby, so just waiting for them to get started on their ready check, and we should be headed right in. And before we do that, again, quick shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, Legend of Mushroom. Type exclamation mushroom in the chat, click the panel down below, download for free, and even just by installing the game, you're helping support this stream and helping support more and more NGS casts from yours truly, from Tokibi. I always make sure to get as many games as possible, but you know how things are these days. And it is almost playoff season, so it's a bit unfortunate because I am, as I've been saying to some of you that have been coming back and forth, I'm sure most of the regulars already know, but I am going to be moving soon. And unfortunately, my move-in date is like right as the playoffs begin. So I'm going to be doing everything in my power to make sure that that I can get those casts started as soon as possible. I'll definitely have to miss at least 1, maybe 2 days of casting, but that's the most I'm willing to give. I want to be ready. I want to be ready as soon as I can be. Like, I don't want to miss the playoffs at all. I will be buying a new desk as well, but I should be able to have a jerry-rigged setup on a folding table, at least for the start of the playoffs. So it may be a little bit scuffed, but I still got a good position there. I still should be able to get most of my setup done pretty quickly, and then we'll be able to get those casts going ASAP. And apparently right now, one of the teams is fully ready. The other team is arguing about who gets to sit out because no one wants to play. Oh, this is actually so funny. And the compromise they're taking is that they're letting the other team decide who's sitting out. That's I don't think I've ever actually seen that. Like, obviously, I'm not going to be showing the exact details of the chat. I mean, that's not something I feel casters should be doing. I believe technically by the rules we're allowed to, but it's heavily frowned upon. But this is one of those things I also frown upon, so I'm not going to be breaking the rules here. And who are we looking at here? So they are going to be bringing one of the players. And this is too funny. I mean, I'm sure anyone who knows these players probably knows which team's doing this, but yeah, they're literally letting the enemy team decide their roster for them for at least the first game. But yeah, while they're doing that, I mean, I should look at the playoff rules because I always forget because there's so many divisions and each one has different rules. Where even are the rules on the website? I've definitely read them back in the day. Oh, there it is. It's literally the first tab. Okay, playoffs. I'm trying to find the thing. Okay, so I can see when the playoffs start and how many weeks each division has, but I can't tell who makes it into the playoffs themselves. Is there more later on? Okay. So for Heroic, it will be top 8 teams going into the playoffs. Okay, so it looks like both sides are ready. So, they immediately went in. All right, we're in the draft. We didn't miss it. But like I said, we're in the draft. Infernal Shines between Can Connect Stuns and potential Scrim Thursday. And because this is the 8-9 position playing, I mean, this definitely is going to have repercussions on the playoffs later on. I mean, there's still a few weeks. We're not that close to the playoffs. I believe for this division, the playoffs start the 28th. So there's still 3 weeks of games. I'm not sure how many flex games are left for either of these two teams or just in general for the teams that are in that middle of the range. But the bans coming out are pretty quickly are coming out pretty quick already. Potential Scrim Thursday going to ban away the Lucio and now the Tracer. And Can Connect Stuns, they've already banned out the Hogger. And as we know, Hogger really good on this map. Probably Hogger's single best map in the game, I'd argue. And then potential Scrim Thursday. Just talking about their bans for a little bit. It looks like they're trying to get rid of anything that can move around a lot. They don't want to deal with anything super mobile. Now, I'm not sure if those are targeted bans towards CCS or if that's just something they don't feel like dealing with tonight. Definitely would be like them. And then it's going to be Johanna banned away for CCS and immediate lock-in for Junkrat for Shoepuff on the side of potential Scrim Thursday. And Junkrat obviously going to be a pain to deal with. So many traps. And for all the shrines, there really aren't too many entrances onto the objective itself. There will be some, but they're all really tight unless you're able to jump over the wall. I totally realized I should have gotten this going, but let's get those predictions in, get the Gamba. As you've seen Vendrick point out, we have the t-shirt giveaway, and we're very close to it. We just need about 10,000 points, just a bit over 10,000 points, and we'll be doing a t-shirt giveaway. So, yeah, be sure to get some points. Be sure to spend them on that, and we'll have a raffle at the end of the stream that does get those 100,000 points. But now, Mockery and the Maineski going to lock in Hanzo and Dahaka, and PST going to lock in the Muradin and the Tyrande for Jkosh Lu and AoE rules. So pretty interesting. I haven't seen too many Tyrande healers. I know some teams really like it. And the Starfall does give quite a bit of damage in those team fights. And the Sentinel's really good at helping out Scout, help give out that information. But right now, I think both of these two drafts, they're still pretty out in the open. I mean, Dahak is good literally always. Hanzo's pretty good in most situations. There's some exceptions where you wouldn't want a Hanzo, but overall, definitely one of the more versatile carries in the game. But the ban's going to be quick once again. CCS is going to ban away the Genji, and potential Scrim Thursday going to ban out the Diablo, trying to get rid of that main beefy tank in the front line. But with that Diablo ban, there is still Tychus available. Now, I know not every team goes for it on Infernal Shrines, but I do think it is one of the better picks on the map. But Nubrak going to get picked for now for Slick Rub. And they do still need a healer, and that's going to be the Anduin for Shredded Wind. So they do have a very solid engage composition already. I mean, a Nubrak, easily the #1 dive tank in the game. And doing if following up with the light bomb, going to be able to increase those. And Montclair as well on the Hanzo, assuming the Dragon Arrow heroic, will also be able to help either follow up or even start the engages or can't connect stuns. Well, potential Scrim Thursday right now, I don't think they really have a full team comp. It's going to depend on these last two picks. And with Sylvanas and Leoric, they're going to have a bit of a siege composition and a bit of just a brawling team comp. They're going to have a bit of a death ball there. And I think that's a composition they're going to be trying to go with. Leoric's definitely going to be able to help provide a lot of space, a lot of pressure in the front line. The Entomb, especially once that level 20 hits, is going to be an absolutely dominating force in those team fights. So it does look like both these two compositions, they're ready to fight, and they're definitely going to be willing to. At least just judging by the drafts. And like suspected, the last pick is going to be the Tychus for Eric. I think especially with the Leoric locked in for a C10 for HD, it is a very value pick. Both Muradin and Leoric, very high HP heroes. And obviously that minigun from Eric going to be doing a lot of bonus damage. And on top of that, Tychus is really good on Infernal Shrines. The overkill on the grenade, able to kill skeletons very quickly and very easily. But without further ado, we have the first draft finished. We're loading in. So let's get started with game number 1.
Prepare yourselves for battle.
All right, and here we are. We are loaded into Infernal Shrines. Gotta connect Suns versus potential Scrim Thursday. And all of these games are going to matter now when it comes to making that top 8 in the Heroic Div, making those playoffs. Every single game is going to matter. Right now, it does seem like it's going to be a pretty standard start. There's a Sylvanas and a Nubrak. So really both these two teams could attempt to push out onto one of the sidelines at the start, try and get an early cannon tower in their favor, but neither side's going to like to do that. Now the Sentinel gonna pop in. Oh, actually Eric walks down just to collect that. Little bit of a BM there coming from Eric, purposely walking down. At least that's how I'm going to describe it. I'm sure Eric had no vision on that at all. But now the concussion mine has already been put down in the brush, and that will help potential Scrim Thursday walk up a little bit more as Eric catches another one of the Sentinels. But now the Impale lands on it too, and the Drag will land on a Jägermeister as well. But again, those are the two beefcakes in the front line. Shouldn't be under too much of a threat, at least not from one form of CC. If they start stacking them up, then they can start worrying. But the Impale gonna slow down Jacosh Shalou, but potential Scrim Thursday, they're gonna be able to walk down here as well with no issues. That's going to be the offlaners on the top side. 4 core for both these two teams. As Slickrub gonna get knocked back with a concussion mine. Just doing the Junkrat things on Shoepuff. Just being a pain. I think that's the main idea of picking Junkrat. You just don't want the other team to have fun. But interestingly enough, potential Scrim Thursday, they have started on their siege camp. Can Connect Suns going to be starting it now, but they are a little bit late. So this could be an opportunity for them to invade. And potential Scrim Thursday, they love invading on these things. They're going to bring in all 5 members. Jägermeister has the bot lane in their rotation. Slickrub taking a decent bit of damage, but not going to go down. But then they have the Lunar Flare and the extra stun. But with the Leap of Faith, Mockery is going to be able to walk back to safety. But the concussion mine is on the siege camp, already going to be in the way. The Mineski was able to push out the mid lane just a little bit, but still a massive wave going to be there, especially with those Impalers. But Jacosh Shalou is back. They're ready to invade once again. Impale just going to be used to try and help zone away. And concussion mine, as per usual, just being a pain, but in the end, can't connect stuns. They will be able to take their own siege camp. But AoE rules and Shoepuff, they're going to get started on the one in the bot lane. And they actually have 2 members pushing out on the top side. C10 for HD and Jägermeister with the level 4 talent as well. Just going to be pushing out strong. And the Mineski actually getting really low. That damage coming out from the Sylvanas, not something to be ignored. As now Eric will see that this has started. They're looking for the engage. As Slickrub, AoE rules isn't a pretty bad spot. Now the chastise does land on a Jacosh Shalou, though, tanked up for AoE rules. So they will be able to secure this siege camp 3v4 in the bot lane while still enjoying the benefits of the 1v2 in the top. And they're looking for the Mineski. But Jägermeister going to be tanking for a little bit too long. Won't be able to continue on to this push. Zamineski just going to be trying to clear this out. But, I mean, this fort's already super low. Potential Scrim Thursday, they're doing quite well on this push. But Jägermeister could be in a bad spot. Shredded Wind just needs one more auto. Go Anduin. Go Anduin. And Shredmeister is hitting away the next. Chastise will be thrown out. Not going to be able to land. And with the final Divine Star, that will be the kill. First blood going to Shredded Wind with a solo kill on the Anduin. That's how we're going to frame it anyway. But now see Denver HD and J-Koshu, they're going to start pushing out the mid lane with another set of black arrows available. Now Shredded Wind carrying already on the top side, coming down, ready for the fight in the mid lane. Mokri here as well. Same with Slickroy, but Mokri pretty low on mana, will definitely be an issue. And it is a scattershot build, by the way. We have been seeing a little bit of Stormbow coming out of some Hanzos, but this time around, gonna be that usual scattershot. Now the Brushstalker is coming down into the bot lane as both sides starting to get positioned around this Punisher objective. They're tied in skeletons for now, and that's kind of the benefit of having that Junkrat as well. Just able to lob grenades over top. Every now and then you steal one or two, and even if that alone won't win you the race, it will buy time. It'll let any kind of split push attempt, like Jägermeister's currently doing on the top side, be given more free time, being able to get more pressures. The Mineski going to be in a bad spot, is in stasis, but nowhere to go. The Haunting Wave from C10 will be enough to get that final kill. Now the Punisher is going to spawn, but Potential Scrim Thursday, they're already pushing out the mid lane, and they're already able to take the fort down to half HP, and they're still going for it. Now Jacob Shalou and Jägermeister, they're all here, and they're just dumping on a Shredded Wind, but won't be able to get on top of that. C10 going to take a decent amount of poke from Eric as well. But again, if you don't push with the Punisher, you don't get too much value out of it. And I actually like what Potential Scrim Thursday is doing, where their entire strategy seems to be based around pulling the enemy away from the Punisher. So even though they did give it away, they really lose nothing for it. Now they're here to start hitting onto the walls. But again, there's 4 members strong down here. Slickrub gotta get stunned up. Lots of damage, and that's going to be 1 kill. But they're looking for more. Shredded Wind doesn't really have any good places for safety. Has a Chastise to buy a little bit of extra space, and will dodge a little bit. But in the end, Potential Scrim Thursday, 2-0 here in the bot lane. And they're really winning out on every single aspect of the map. They did give away the Punisher, but they dealt more damage to the mid lane fort than Can't Connect stuns even did to the wall in the bot lane with that Frozen Punisher. And especially with these early game Punishers, they're pretty weak, they're very squishy, they're very easy to kill. Hard to get a lot of value on it unless both teams are prepared for it. But now Potential Scrim Thursday, they're here Can't Connect stuns. They did match in the bot lane. They will lose their wall, but they're not going to take too much damage onto the fort itself. They're just going to be able to clear it out. But now with the siege camp spawning, level 10s also available on PST. And they're just going to start stealing away these camps. They've already taken their own siege camp. The rest of the team is on the way. And it's going to be all 5 members strong here. So they will be able to get this steal in their favor. And now it seems their next place of attack is going to be this bottom siege camp. They're just going to grab it for themselves. And then they could try pushing up there, or down there, I guess, for the bottom fort. As Eric and Slickrub, they're both just kind of sitting in mid, but right now the fight could be breaking through. The black arrows have been used, so they're going to be able to get quite a bit of poke here. C10 looking for a play of the backline with a Wailing Arrow. Going to be able to land it onto Mockery, but that's all it's going to be able to land onto. But Jacob Shalou looking for Shredded Wind, just fighting in the backline. And the Starfall as well, just a couple more hits, and the Anduin's going to be gone. But Jacob Shalou also getting pretty low. But with the After coming out, lots of HP now. Eric in a bad spot. And they have the Dragon Arrow into the backline, but C10 will get traded back, but it's 1-for-1 with Eric. Now a couple more hits, the Stormbow going on to both sides. Scattershot dealing a lot of damage, but it's going to be the 2-for-2, but Jägermeister taking down the mid fort during that. Potential Scrim Thursday traded 2-for-2 plus a fort in the bot lane, and every single trade just coming out on top for Potential Scrim Thursday. And I mean, they are a very strong team when it comes to these team fights, and I don't think anyone will ever deny. And you know what? I'm even going to say this. I think they are the most aggressive team in the Heroic Division, because they're just constantly looking for fights. If there's something on the map, they want it, they're going to go for it. As now Mockery over in the bot lane. Jacob and Jägermeister trying to get set up, maybe hoping for a bit of a unsafe rotation, but Mockery not going to be caught out in those ways. But is showing over in that mid lane. Jägermeister getting in position with that Janitor Leoric skin, by the way. I forgot to call that out during the during the draft itself. But level 13 now up and online for potential Scrim Thursday. Slickrub was starting to get a little bit worried, but in the meanwhile, C10 for HD already with a big push coming out into the bot thing. Going to be trying to trade into the Maineski. And the drag not going to be able to land. So now C10 can definitely fight. AoE rules is here as well. Same with J-Kosh-Lu. And now with the stasis, could be in a good spot, but the Lunar Flare is going to land, and an extra stun with the Stormbolt, but the healer is there. And the Wailing Arrow just going to land onto the backline, and now they're definitely not going to be able to defend here. J-Kosh-Lu still looking forward, a couple more hits, and C10 not even needed for that. Will be able to save J-Kosh-Lu. Now the Impale will land onto 2. C10 going to get taken down to a few hundred HP, but has the healer behind them. And now that Odin is popped, now they can back away. They've already gotten the pressure in the bottom that they wanted. They got that heroic out. There's no more reason for them to stay and fight. And in the meanwhile, Can't Connect Stuns was up here in the top lane first, but because they had to send so many players down to the bot side, potential Scrim Thursday, they're going to retake onto this Infernal Shrine, or onto this Shrine. And I believe this is the Mortar Punisher, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So they will be able to take that in their hands. Just need a couple more, and they're just going to leave Jägermeister to it. But Slickrub got to get hit with the Stormbolt, and a couple more stuns going back and forth, but no kill's going to be there. But it does buy so much space. But now Can't Connect Stuns. They're going to try to take their siege camp, but Scrim Thursday is here. They're walking forward, gets hit by the Chastise. Lunar Flare as well into the Light Bomb. Avatar is popped, but J-Kosh-Lu already at half HP. The team fight now going to be coming through. And the Junkrat will buy enough space, and the Riptire lands onto 3. Mockery is going to be first to go. Slickrub is next, and now Jägermeister, one more slap. And the Janitor getting rid of really anyone at this point. It's going to be a 3-0 now. With the win, they're able to come through. The Black Arrows as well, just keeping the keep denied. So it's just going to be Shredded win 1v2, and will get taken down. Make that a 4-0. And the only surviving member is the Maineski, who's also getting zoned away from the entire map. And they kept it at 39 stacks, by the way, so that Mortar Punisher can be finished whenever they feel like it. And right now they do have the talent advantage. This could be a good time to push forward, and it does seem like that's the idea. That's what they want to try and utilize, these level 16s for this push. Now J-Kosh-Lu just going to be walking forward into Slickrub. Couple hits, Jägermeister in a good position, but will not be throwing out the Entomb. But they have so many Impalers and the Cannon Minion as well, just pushing down this mid lane. And it's getting pretty good value, even that on its own. But the Punisher, at the same time, is pushing on the top side, but no heroes there from Can't Connect Stuns to defend it. They need to try and defend on 2 fronts. They have so much damage coming out from everywhere. Now C10 will use the Black Arrows to delete the keep. I should say to disable it, but it's going to get deleted anyway. Now the Mortar Punisher already in the mid lane, actually hitting onto that keep as well. And the Riptire just going to be used for a poke. Lands on it 3. That's a lot of bonus damage. Now Jägermeister could be looking for the back line. Will slow down Mockery, as Mockery will be the first to go. But the team fight still going on onto the rest of it. Slickrub looking for C10, not going to be able to land the Burrow Charge. As J-Kosh-Lu still playing forward, looking for Eric. As the Entomb will land. Now the Odin's going to be there, but doesn't matter if you can't get stunned, because the best stun is the kill. Slickrub got to follow. Same with the Maineski, and potential Scrim Thursday with a massively one-sided game. They're going to be able to take game number 1 in just 11.5 minutes. I mean, I don't think there's too much to say there. I mean, potential Scrim Thursday. I love watching this team play. They really know how to utilize the minimum amount of resources to get what they want. I mean, if we could have done the replay for that, I mean, but unfortunately the production here isn't very great. Thank you, Tokubi. But I mean, they sent 2 members to try contesting on the siege camp, because if they just send 2, that's enough to buy enough time for the rest of their team to take the other siege camp and then still join in before the team fight breaks open, before that left siege camp gets finished. And then they send 3 members to push down the bot lane and 2 to take the Punisher at that top side. And with that, they had the position. Again, they were able to provide just enough pressure that they could just leave that one in the top side. I mean, it's a really amazing play, and I love seeing it. But for now, we're going to go on break. And when we come back, it'll be game number 2. So don't go anywhere. All right, and we are in for game number 2 between CCS and potential Scrim Thursday. We are now going to Towers of Doom. Now, I mean, we had a couple replay casts last night go to Towers, and both of those games were absolutely insane. And hopefully we'll be able to see something similar here today. And now, this map was picked by Can't Connect Stun. So again, going to be the blue map pick, so because of that, potential Scrim Thursday will have the first pick. Let me get those predictions running as well. Boom, boom. But I'm wondering if there's going to be too many different picks bans. I mean, right now it's just going to be around the same, or it's going to start the same way. Lucio banned out by potential Scrim Thursday. And I believe they banned away the Lucio and the Tracer last time. But Can't Connect Stuns, they did ban out the Hogger first. I don't think Towers of Doom is as good a Hogger map, so not a super surprise to see that. Instead, they'll be removing the Dehaka, because Dehaka is really good on this map. One of the best double soakers in the entire game. Now, obviously, with the last set of nerfs, that double soaking did get a little bit worse. But despite it getting worse, Dehaka is still one of the best double soakers of the game, so we'll at least remove the advantage, but we'll definitely still have the advantage there. But yeah, potential Scrim Thursday, they're going to have the same two bans, Lucio and Tracer. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And now Can't Connect Suns, we looking for that one and final ban. Now, I don't think there was any individual hero that was super difficult for them to deal with. I think it was just potential Scrim Thursday as a whole. And they will ban out something different this time as well. Just going to ban away the Chromie. So that's going to be gone pretty quickly here. And first pick available for potential Scrim Thursday. And I'm wondering what they will decide to do here. I mean, there's a lot of strong picks that they like. There's a lot of picks they've been doing well with. And surprisingly, it actually will be the Hogger pick. So it was banned away in game number 1, but obviously on Towers, not quite as effective as on Infernal Shrines, but obviously, but also still a good hero. Definitely can perform well in team fights. Doesn't double soak quite as well as the Dehaka, but will still be able to have a very, very respectable double soak ability. But Slick Rub and Mockery going to lock in the Johanna and the Hanzo. Now the Hanzo was played in that game 1. And the Johanna, I don't even remember who the tank was. That's probably bad. But yeah, it is going to be the Johanna and Hanzo locked in for CCS. No, I believe Johanna was banned last time. I don't even remember. I have the memory of a goldfish. I apologize. But the next set of picks will be coming in. 2 and 3 locked in for PSD, and it is going to be the Murden and the Medivh. Okay, so the Medivh is definitely going to change the pace of the game quite a bit. It takes a bit of time to scale, at least as a DPS. It's still really solid as a support, but need to get those 40 Arcane Rift stacks, get the 1 second cooldown, and just absolutely start shredding. Super strong mage, and the teamfight ability from this Medivh is going to be wild. They're going to have a lot more tools at their disposal. Now, next set of bans is coming through. They're going to ban away the Brightwing on Can't Connect Stuns. I mean, both these two teams will still need a healer. Ah, it wasn't the Anubrak. That's what it was. Now I remember, because I remember the Anduin combo for some reason. But yeah, so it will be Johanna picked this time for CCS instead of the Anubrak. That's what that was. As potential Scrim Thursday looking for their next ban as well. They could look towards banning out an offlaner. I think banning away something like the Leoric could be good for them. I think they'll be fine into it as well, but it will give them a little bit more pressure on Shoepuff. But instead of that, they're going to ban out the Junkrat. Now, obviously, Junkrat will be able to deal a lot of damage, and Junkrat and Hanzo are so safe and so difficult to play into because they have so much range. The Hanzo's pretty mobile as well, as long as they're near wall. But the next two picks are going to be coming through. It's going to be Malfurion for Shredded Wind and Blaze for the Maineski. So the Blaze obviously going to be able to push out the offlane very quickly. Also one of those good double soakers. And also going to be really useful during these team fights. The Bunker does help out quite a bit into the Murden, into the Medivh. Just because it gives them a way of hiding from some of those abilities. But I am really looking forward to seeing how they use the portals from C10 as It is going to be Hogger joining in the forecourt as the Lost Vikings get locked in for Jacob Schlu and Anduin locked in for Moon. But the Lost Vikings, okay. So those three are definitely going to be the single best double soakers in the game simply because they are in every lane at the same time if they so choose. Now, it's going to be fun to see how they decide to split up the Vikings, how Jacob Schlu wants to do it. I have seen a lot of different methods. I've seen 1-1-1. I've seen 1-2 where Eric and Baylog are playing together and Olaf's just holding the furthest away lane. But we're going to have to see once we get into the map. The final pick going to be the false dad for Eric. So they will have that cross map play. They will have that global. But we're going to see if they're going to be able to come back. Potential Scrim Thursday, they look really strong in game number 1. But with that being said, time to head into the game. And right before we do, I'd like to say hello to the sponsor of the Tokebi stream, Legend of Mushroom. Alright, welcome back everyone. And yeah, Legend of Mushroom, click the link in the chat, click the panel down below. Download for free today, and just by installing it, you are helping support this stream. You're going to help support getting more and more casts out to you. But either way, we're in map number 2 between Can Connect Stuns and Potential Scrim Thursday. So right now, it does look like Baylog is going to be going over to the top lane, but everyone else is going to be sitting over to the bot side. The Condemn does that onto 3. Eric is starting to get pretty low, but will get healed by the Divine Storm. But now the Jet Propulsion lands on it too. As the Olaf for Jacob Schlu trying to play a little bit forward, but not going to go down. And that's the main thing as a Viking. They can heal. They cannot be allowed to go down. Not too much anyway. But now both sides are going to start grouping towards the bot side. Shootpuff with the Hog Wild will be able to back away. And actually looking towards Eric, knocking them into the Dynamite as well. But no one's going to be able to go down during that team fight. As H-Bob still getting poked down a little bit by Mockery and Shredded Wind. But now all these members are grouping down into this bot lane. It is going to be Eric in the mid lane and actually going the frequent flyer talent. Going to have those auto attacks. So will scale incredibly well. Will have a lot of consistent damage. And I think that is the best way to deal with it. When you're into someone like a Muradin, where you need a lot of just autos coming through, as much DPS as possible, with less emphasis on the burst itself. But now Siege Camp is getting started by CCS. C10, just being a bird, just watching this portal, is going to be coming through. But they have the roots. They're already sleeping on it too. And now they will be able to secure their own Siege Camp. And now the team fight coming through. Shredded Wind will go down, but C10 also in a bad spot. Eric trying to get that kill with the Lightning Rod. Not able to get enough damage. And now Eric alone in the middle of the wave will get finished off. So it's going to be a 2-0 for Potential Scrim Thursday. Now they weren't able to steal the Siege Camp, but it's the most frustrating thing, I'm sure, for CCS, because if they did their scouting, they know Potential Scrim Thursday, they'll invade everything. No matter where the lane is, no matter where the camp is, Potential Scrim Thursday will always try to invade, whether they're ahead or behind. But the frustrating thing is, even if you do know that, what are you going to do about it? Because they're just going to come in, they're going to take the camp anyway. If they don't take the camp, well, they're going to take the fight. They'll always take something. Now, meanwhile, Mockery was able to take down both Olaf and Eric, so that's going to give a little bit of that experience back in favor for CCS. But I believe even two together, they're only a quarter kill each. But now both sides going to be fighting. The chastise does land onto Eric, but Mockery just DPSing onto Moon. The Divine Star will be able to get a little bit of a shield, but now with the Contempt, they will be able to take down Moon. And now Bob, also in a bad spot, starting to get a little bit low. A couple more autos with the protection coming out from C10. Will be enough to keep them alive. Jacob Schlu just trying to DPS onto the backline. It is the Olaf, and we'll even be using the portals. Wow. Definitely not like my Vikings, I'll tell you that much. But with that, CCS, they've definitely been able to even out the game at least slightly more. But now, Jacob Schlu sending in the Vikings onto both the altars, onto all three, actually. getting channeled exclusively by Jkoshlu. Now the Olaf is here in the bot side. Is going to be getting DPS down and will be zoned away. But DH Bob looking onto Mockery. Will be grouping onto the back line. And with the protection, will be fine for now. But now Olaf does go down to Eric in the back line. As Moon forced to jump in. And Eric just DPSing on a C10 in the back line. As they're looking onto Mockery. Mockery starting to get low. Shootpuff dealing so much damage. And one final auto will be able to trade it back. But now they're looking towards Eric. Eric also starting to get low. And they have the portal coming through, and with a staggering blow, one more auto from Shoopov. That's all that's needed. Shredded Wind gonna be the next target, and behind enemy lines, that's not where you want to be as a Malfurion. And even with the entangling roots, not going to be able to prevent it. It will still be the kill. Now Shoopov trying to wait out the shield. Hog Wild coming through as well, dealing quite a bit of damage. Chastise lands as well. Divine Star with the staggering blow, and the final Arcane Rift will get the kill for potential Scrim Thursday. As again, they're really starting to take the lead. 6-1 in terms of kill, about half a level. But in the meanwhile, the Maneski was able to take a good chunk of that wall on the top side. But again, the siege camp getting pushed in, getting stolen by potential Scrim Thursday, doing their #1 play. As the mid lane, I wanted to check what that was like, but it doesn't seem like Can't Connect Stuns were able to get too big of a push in that area. Now, at the very least, they should be able to prevent this set from exploding onto their bell tower. They will be able to clear away these sappers, but that's going to be all they're able to do. Other than that, it's going to be pretty even currently on the map. Now, Slickrup trying to walk forward. Shooppuff gonna use the staggering blow, just push them away. Now, the teleport is there, but they have the sleep on it too. But how much more can they trade? Shooppuff no longer any portal to run away to, but also in a very good position to condemn. Will pull 2 back. DH Bob starting to get low, but Jkoshlu, the Olaf, is going to be here. And just kind of tanking everything up for them. As the condemn lands onto 4, and they're all within the entangling roots, but not enough damage to really get into that play. And the condemn into the entangling roots has definitely been working for them. They've been able to get multiple members caught in that. As again, the condemn just going to be used to help push away these last few sappers. One of them will walk in, but it's just going to be the one. As Scattershot going to dismount Bob immediately. Isn't that the worst when you just mount up and then someone dismounts you like the second you finally get mounted? So they have to wait for that cooldown. But level 10s are up for potential Scrim Thursday. The Maneski gonna be pushing out the siege camp. And now Jkoshlu is here, but Eric gonna be going down in the mid lane. And that is gonna be giving a couple stacks to Frequent Flyer. So Fallside being able to take advantage of that definitely adds up. But play again gonna be used by Jkoshlu. And with that and DH Bob, they will be able to take that top lane siege camp as well. But now Eric is gonna be able to pull a C10 back, but the Blessed Shield not gonna land. Leap of Faith gonna be used by Moon, and the Dragon Arrow gonna go wide. The Leyline Seal is getting set up. They have the Light Bomb, they have the Staggering Blow, they have everyone caught in. And now it's gonna be 2-0. Make that 3. Slickrub, only one left alive. But the entire team is gonna be here. Hog Wild just jumping between them. Staggering Blow into the wall, and it's gonna be a triple kill for Shooppuff. And now in the meanwhile, Jkoshlu and DH Bob, they're still pushing out the top side. They finished off this wall. And just like in game #1, they are in a very good position to keep pushing. That triple dynamite doing a lot of damage to this bottom bell tower. As the Maneski trying to trade back in the top side. Has the burn, and with the Haymaker, it is going to be the 1v2, but the bunker is going to come out, try and buy some space. But C10 is going to be here, and with the portals, they're going to be able to walk in, but Jet Propulsion will slow them down. But the final Arcane Rift will be able to get the kill end. C10 only needs 2 more to get that quest done, as Eric gonna come down and kill Eric, the similar name, different spelling, to get at least some more stacks, but it's definitely starting to look dire for Can't Connect Stuns. The altars are up, but level 13 is also available for potential Scrim Thursday. And they're looking for a Shredded Wind in the back line. They have the Teleport, Staggering Blow, and just so much damage. Now the Blessed Shield is coming through, and the healing not going to be enough. They did throw out that Tranquility, but there's just not enough healing within it to survive it. And with the Haymaker, they'll be able to take down Mockery as well. And the bottom bell tower gonna be alone before it even goes down. Before the bottom bell tower goes down, it is just gonna be really everyone there that's trying to defend this bell tower. Gonna get finished off. Now Moon will take the final little bit of damage on the bell tower. Now 5 damage will be hitting onto the core. Actually, it was only 4. I'm wondering if that's a bug or if the timing was just slightly off for that. But either way, 4 damage going to hit onto the core of Can't Connect stuns. But now TH Bob just tanking this up, just throwing out the Storm Bolts. It is the Storm Bolt build, by the way. I haven't really brought that up yet, but lots of infinite damage coming through and really good at taking down structures and potentially bosses, though there aren't any bosses on this map. But C10 just trading with the Mineski, winning out hard, especially with those teleports. And now in the bot lane, it looks like Can't Connect stuns. They want to retake onto this bell tower, but they have the light bomb. And with the gust, actually going to be able to get onto Mockery. Not the target they wanted. The Condemned is going to land onto 3. They're going to be able to take down Eric, but it's just one of the Vikings. DH Bob still trying to play onto the backline. Will throw out the Storm Bolts, but no one's going to be caught out yet, as the Tranquility is active in the backline, trying to heal up Sacrum. And now Jet of Propulsion lands. DH Bob is super low. Same with C10, but the Leyline Seal onto 4. Do they have anything else for it? They have the Staggering Blow, but it's not going to be enough to get any kills. It will be able to buy enough space that they're not going to lose anyone for this play. But all 5 members are here for Can't Connect stuns, but now they have the stun onto Sacrum. Sacrum going to be pretty low, as the sleep is going to be in the back line, and the Hog Wild from Shoepuff could be in a bad spot, but DH Bob looking for Slick Rub, and 1 hit is all it takes. It is 1 for 1, but now the Mineski able to land onto the back line, onto 2. DH Bob trying to heal, but will be able to back away. And now Eric still looking, the protection is going to be there, but Eric's the one that goes down. Mockery underneath the bell tower. Moon with the light bomb trying to get into the back line, but won't even be needed. C10 will get traded back, so it is a 3 for 3. But again, it's a 3 for 3, but you have Olaf in the top side. You have Baylog in the mid lane. You have Eric taking the altar, and that's definitely going to be 5 damage going on to the core. And now with that, Jakosh Shlu is going to be getting so much pressure out in all these waves. 32 to 19. 2-level lead for a potential Scrim Thursday. They have that level 16 talent. Looking for the Eric, getting a little bit of damage, but it is just healer and tank, not going to be able to take down even Eric, but Olaf and Baylog both burning down to the Mineski and to Eric over in the top side. When you try to save one of the Vikings, the other 2 are going to be getting attacked, but this is at least something coming back in favor of Can't Connect Suns. But now play again has been burned, so all 3 Vikings here in the mid lane, but not going to be able to get any aggressive play with them yet. But Eric has been able to push out the top side on this Falstad, as the 3 Vikings are going to be here, and they're jumping onto Mockery, and they have the Entangle, and the Gust will come out in time, but in time to prevent the rest of the fight. But Mockery's still going to go down, as now the Bunker getting popped. They're aiming onto the Mineski. They have a huge stun to the back with the Dread Propulsion, and Eric trying to deal a lot of damage into the backline. C10 starting to get low, couple more autos, but not going to be able to land them in the end. And now Eric is the one getting jumped upon. The Chastise will land. Same with the Dynamite. They have 3, and there's just so much going on there. So many different Vikings, but it's going to be Slick Rub going down. It's a 3 for 1/3 in favor of potential Scrim Thursday. But now the Entangle is there. The Mineski will be able to get the stun onto DH Bob, but again, there's just nothing they can do about it. They do lose their mid-bell tower. And now with that, Jakosh Shlu already set up for 1, make that 2, and C10 and Moon will be able to take down the Mineski over in the top side. Now there's 1 bell tower left, 10 damage gonna be landing now. And if they're able to get this, all they need is the bell tower and the boss, assuming they can keep up the map state. But Moon gonna start channeling. Eric looking forward. They have the scatter shot 2 canceled for now, but the teleport is coming through. Leyline Seal lands onto 2, and they have the light bomb able to land onto both of them, as Eric trying to trade back onto Moon. So it is gonna be still trading back and forth. It will be 1 for 1 for now. C10 also in a bad spot, and with 1 more Stormbow, not going to be able to land, but Eric has the damage. And now looking towards Shupa, but the Vikings playing again. They are back on the map, but DH Bob looking for the backline as well, and Eric's going to go down. Mockery on the backline. Shupuff's already there, able to take down Slick Rub, able to take down Mockery, and Shupuff looking for the Mineski. The Mineski is the only one just trying to save it. Now the Bunker is out. Dynamite going to come through, but there's just too much damage, too many Vikings, and Shupuff to boot, as the Mineski got to get finished off, and it's going to be a 5 for nothing, as they do take the final bell tower. They're going to be able to take the final altar, And I believe this should be it. This is going to be 7 damage once this is fully channeled. And with the rest of the damage going in, this will be game 2. Another huge domination for potential Scrim Thursday. I mean, kind of like in game 1, just not too much to say. Potential Scrim Thursday, they never let off the gas pedal from minute 1. As soon as they were looking for that Sapper Camp to steal on the left side, they just kept playing forward. They weren't able to steal it, but they were able to win a team fight. Then they tried again. This time they were able to steal it and win the team fight. And just so on and so forth. They just kept going, go, 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 go. And, well, they went and got themselves that 2-0 domination, 4 points. Now we're going to see if we can get an interview, so bear with me one moment. Good chance they declined, but we'll see. It's up to them if they want to go or not. Now, let's see if they do. All right, let me just get this set up, see if any of them do come in. Is this thing working? Oh, they are getting their press secretary.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great.
All right, and I am joined here by the press secretary, and I've heard rumors press manager now for potential Scrim Thursday. So with that,
I think that's just people getting my title wrong.
So it is press secretary?
Yeah.
My
you got
apologies.
it right.
My apologies. Well, either way, congrats on that 2-0. I mean, these were 2 really one-sided matches, and what did you do to prepare for this series?
I mean, looking at that draft in game 2, I assume that they just went outside, rolled around in some mud, and came back in and decided to play, because that was fucking disgusting. That was awful. I hated that.
Well, I mean, it definitely worked out, and I mean, rolling around in the mud definitely will cool off any tempers. It's nice and cool there. And I think that will let them really lock in, so I can definitely see how that strategy would work out for them. And now, with that win, it does give them that 4 points, and they were already technically in one of the playoff spots, assuming the playoffs would start today. But with this win...
Wait. I'm sorry to stop you here, but you said they.
My apologies.
I'm part of the team here. You gotta say you as in you plural.
My apologies.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I had to correct you there. I'm sorry.
No, you are right to do so. I need to be getting your title right. I need to realize you are what make this team work when it comes to the public space. So
there you go.
Everything, all honor going to you and the rest of your team. But either way, with this, that brings you up technically to 5th place now. And, I mean, Potential Scrim Thursday have some of the lowest games played so far. This was their 8th, and now they're very much in that playoff seed. Now, what is the plan in the playoffs exactly?
I think the plan for the playoffs is mostly to forfeit, because we're not going to have enough players. You know, it's really unfortunate, but with only 9 players on our roster, we're really struggling. And I think sometimes it shows, you know, we have to pull in these random players like how do you spell his name? Jakash Lu? Like, who the hell is that? Never heard of him. So, yeah. We'll see if we can pull 5 together, but I would be surprised.
Yeah, well, maybe we can talk to the mods, get an exception, maybe turn this into a 15-player roster. I think maybe that way there would at least be a greater chance of fielding a full team for the playoffs.
That's a good idea.
I'll support you on that one. I'll be right there with you fighting them.
Thank you. We need it.
Yep. Well, with that, thank you for coming for this interview, and congrats again on your 2-0. Very well played, very well deserved.
Thank you. You mind if I do a shout out real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Shout out to DH Bob. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for that, and you have yourself a good night.
All right, have a good one.
All right, and with that, once again, that was the press secretary of Potential Scrim Thursday, Monday, and Zebra. Always a pleasure having those interviews after. But this will be it for the night. Just going to be that single cast. I want to double check. I believe Omster might be casting right now, so we'll be rating over that in that direction. Yeah, they are casting, so going to be checking all of you there. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you can join us tomorrow. We will be having that double cast. I believe we're going to Division B primarily. Let me double check the calendar. I always lose track of these. Yeah, it's going to be Division A, Came From Behind versus Can't Pause, Won't Pause. Then Division B West, Rowan Esports versus Borg Side of the Moon. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.